think there was kind of like a layered approach to it. I just felt generally unhappy and I couldn't really figure out why. I was like, you've been doing this so long, you've built it up to this stage. Why do you just want to throw it all in? I had got to that stage and just thought, I don't like tutoring anymore. And I really had to sort of wrestle with the why. Why don't you enjoy tutoring anymore? And I think the biggest of it, which I don't like to admit, is I didn't feel rewarded. The parents loved what I was doing, the reviews were lovely, the children were making great progress, but I didn't feel rewarded. And I just thought, I've gone from a career in teaching with a salary, and yet what I earn is less than what I was get, or yeah, less than what I could get as working as a TA in a school. And I just thought there was just all those layers of you've worked so hard for so many years and you haven't got in your bank account at the end of the month anything that relates to the investments you've made in yourself in terms of your degree, in terms of the training you've done. And I just thought, whilst I'm not money driven, there comes a point that you've got to feel rewarded in financial. You can't, I don't think, or there'll be very few people that could do tutoring for no money whatsoever. Whilst we all love what we're doing and we get so much joy from the children, there has to be a financial element where you feel, actually, I do feel financially rewarded for this. And that was the big element. And I'd also, my fluffy boundaries, there was some sort of boundaries, but I was a little bit fluffy with them. So, I had a cancellation policy, but then when they're asking me so nicely, I'd be like, oh, I'll just shift things around for you. So I wasn't protecting my personal boundaries at all. So I then felt a yes person to everybody. And I like to be flexible, but the stricter I've been with my policies, the more respected I've been, and I don't get asked as much. And I have more bookings now than I did before, strangely. So, yeah, there was a number of layers to it, just not feeling rewarded, not enjoying the job, feeling like my time was everybody's, feeling like I wasn't really being respected for what I was doing, all sorts of things, really. Feeling a little bit stressed as well, like, I don't need to work all these hours. Why am I working all these hours? This is, as a business owner, you've got choice about how you run your business. Why have I chosen to run it like this? Yeah, and that it just hit a wall. I just thought, right, enough. It either stops now and I go and get a job, um, which was never going to be going back to be a teacher. No, that was never going to be an option. But I'd go back and be a TA in a heartbeat because I loved that role. Um, or I pivot the business and I really do get serious about running a business, looking at my core values, what's the subject that lights me up, what can I make a difference in, strategy, all those proper business skills really. And then yeah, and then quite quickly I started to love it again. So it whilst I hate to think of money isn't my driver, but I know where I'm going now. When you work and you just kind of to the next appointment, to the next appointment, to the next appointment, to the next appointment, you don't really have a vision of growth.
Mm.
And you're like sat in the, is this it? Is this the grind? Is this what I do for every day of my life forever? And I think when you get to that point and you're asking yourself that, something's got to change. And that was definitely for me going, this isn't the forever. I can't stick in this grind. There has to be more. I have to be able to grow, not necessarily about achieving 100K years or whatever, not necessarily financial, because, being a millionaire is just not, it doesn't light me up. But having a bigger reach and impacting more children and helping more children does. But there's only so many hours in a day, so how can I do that? And that's when I felt the fire in my belly again. It's like, right, okay, you can have impact, you can grow, but you don't have to give all the hours under the sun to be able to do that. So yeah.